Hello everyone. For Silver Linings Lesson 5, we are going to be looking at great explorers throughout history and up to the present day. Throughout history, people have always wondered what was beyond the next mountain, ocean, river, or even planet. Explorers are people who have blazed the trail in going to new places. The age of exploration took place between the 15th and 17th centuries. During this time, many countries in Europe sent out explorers to discover new lands, find trade routes, seek treasure, and gain territory for their country. During this time, much of the world was mapped, and many world civilizations came into contact with each other. Sometimes it is called the Age of Discovery. Since this time, there have been many more people who have taken up the challenges of exploring, from being the first person or people to reach the South Pole, to being the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, first people to climb Everest, or the first man to set foot on the moon. In these pictures, you can see the explorers Roald Amundsen and Robert Falcon Scott, who engaged in a frantic and ultimately tragic race to be the first man to reach the South Pole. On this picture, we've got Amelia Earhart, one of the most famous pilots of all time. She was the first woman to fly across North America and the Atlantic. At the bottom, we have Sir Edmund Hillary and Zeng Norgay, who were the first men to reach the summit of Everest on the 29th of May in 1953. And the final picture here is of Neil Armstrong, who became the first man to set foot on the moon. The reasons for exploration can vary widely. Most explorers like the adventure of going to a new place, meeting new people and cultures, or taking on challenges. So what are the reasons for exploration? Well, one reason could be trade. Many countries and rulers funded explorers in order to find new trade partners and goods. In some cases, they were hoping to find new trade routes that would help them to transport goods cheaper than their competitors. This was the case of Vasco da Gama and Christopher Columbus, who I'm sure some of you may have heard of. Another reason for exploration was gold. Often explorers have been in search of riches and treasures. The conquistadors were primarily searching for gold and silver when they conquered the Native Americans of the New World. Another reason for exploration is science. In many cases, explorers are scientists hoping to learn about nature and new parts of the world. They may be hoping to find a new species of animal or a type of plant. Here we have Charles Darwin, who was a British naturalist, Alexander von Humboldt, a German explorer and naturalist, and Carolus Linnaeus, a Swedish botanist. All three of these men explored the world to further their scientific discoveries. Another reason for exploration was land. Many explorers claimed the land they found in the name of their country. Countries like Spain, Portugal, and Great Britain amassed huge empires during the age of exploration. This is a picture of Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian merchant from 1451 to 1512, and America is named after him. The final reason for exploration is challenge. Many explorers want to test their personal limits and be the first in the world to do something. These types of explorers include the men who raced to be the first to the North and South Poles, the top of Mount Everest, and to the moon. On this page, we've got some modern day explorers. We have Sally Ride, who is an American astronaut and was the first woman in space. We have Laura Decker, a Dutch sailor, aged 24. In 2012, she became the youngest person to sail around the world. And we have Ollie Broadhead, a 21-year-old British adventurer, photographer and writer who has explored previously unexplored areas of Sumatra, an island in Indonesia. Your task. So your task is to choose 3 explorers. It could be 3 you've seen on this video or 3 others that you know about or would like to find out about. I would like you to complete a short fact sheet about each of the explorers you choose. You'll need these fact sheets ready for next week's lesson. Speak to you next week.